Joined on the broadcast by Mike Miller, the voice of the Windsor Spitfires. Of course, fans know the Memorial Cup host this year. Mike, walk us through the excitement in Windsor, Ontario for the tournament.
I mean, as you know, Windsor, Patrick, is a tremendous hockey town, and a lot of great players have gone through there, including the head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks, Joe Quenneville. Ryan Ellis right now having a tremendous year, banged up a little bit down at Nashville. But the history is there. The Windsor community has put a bid in for the Memorial Cup numerous times over the last decade. And again, May, this event will be coming to Windsor. There's no doubt that the Windsor community is going to support this event. The real tedious thing right now, Patrick, is we have a Windsor club that is in fifth place in the Western Conference. And I'll tell you how good the West is. Windsor's record against the East is 17-2-1, and a team called Owen Sound right now in fourth place in the Western Conference in a 17-game span took 33 out of 34 points and never moved out of fifth place. So that tells you what's going on in the West right now. And before the Spits can start worrying about the Memorial Cup, they're trying to get home ice advantage. They have a big game tonight against the number one ranked team in all of North America, the Erie Otters, an explosive team. That being said, they've lost 4 of their last 6 games. Windsor comes in with a 3-game winning streak. So it's great to talk about the Memorial Cup. I think the one thing the Spitfires, Patrick, are trying to avoid here is going into the Memorial Cup with a fifth place seed. And what would happen if they would get beaten that first round by one of the 4 great teams that I've talked about in front of you, all ranked teams, Erie, Sault Ste. Marie, London Knights, Owen Sound, and all of a sudden you're sitting there eliminated after 1 round and you're sitting in Windsor for 6 weeks. So very tedious time for the Windsor Spitfires right now in a very big game tonight, trying to move up in the standings.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an ideal situation for sure. Seems to be a Groundhog Day as usual. Western Conference super strong in the OHL. From your perspective, obviously in spite of the 5th seed, still strong compared to the rest of the league. How much of this team just happens to be a strong team, or how much of it was constructed particularly with this year in mind?
Well, all of it, Patrick. I mean, this team was built to win a Memorial Cup. And this is a Windsor Spitfires team that, has had some ups and downs. It's a club that's getting great goaltending from Michael Dipierto. Sean Day just signed a contract, of course, with the New York Rangers. Mikhail Sergachev started the year with the Montreal Canadiens. A lot of upside. Warren Reichel, the GM of this team. This team is built to compete and compete hard in the Memorial Cup. All that being said, as you well know, the teams that are going to come out of the Quebec Major League and the team, the St. John Sea Dogs for prime example, and whoever comes out of the West, whether it be the Regina Pats or whoever, the competition is going to be stiff. Windsor won the back-to-back Memorial Cups in 08, 09, and of course 09, 10 as well. I wouldn't put this team in the same category of those teams that featured Adam Henrique and Taylor Hall and Ryan Ellis and those guys. Those were dynamite teams. But Windsor's got a chance. They got to bang away at all cylinders. It's not that Windsor has had a bad year, don't get me wrong. The competition in the West, Erie, London, Owen Sound, Sault Ste. Marie, all playing tremendous hockey. If any of those teams, I think, has a little bit of a weakness, Sault Ste. Marie right now, not getting the goaltending the other 3 teams are getting. Again, Windsor's got a test tonight against Erie. They go into Sarnia on Friday night. They're home Sunday as well. So 3 games in 4 days, starting Thursday for Windsor.
Really could be here all day talking about the drafted talent on Windsor. A lot of elite, high-end guys, but wanted to touch on 3 in particular. 2 first-rounders, Mikhail Sergachev, who you just talked about, also Logan Brown, a Senators pick, and also Jeremy Bracco, a second-round pick, because, of course, a lot of Leafs fans in this part of the world. Tell us about those guys, in particular interested in Sergachev's adjustment after he came back from Montreal.
Slow start. Mikhail Sergachev came back to the Montreal Canadiens. Listen, I think it's human nature, Patrick, when you get sent back from the NHL back to the junior ranks. There's a little bit of a shock that I think goes through your system there. And Sergachev has been absolutely outstanding. Slow start, but he's almost averaging 2 points a game for the Windsor Spitfires since he's been back. Logan Brown, on the other hand, his biggest problem this year, speaking of hands, is a hand injury. He's been banged up a little bit. He's banging away now on all 8 cylinders, which is really another factor in this. Windsor's getting healthy right now, and that is a real factor. Logan Stanley, another first-round NHL draft choice, of course, out until mid-April with a knee situation. Tonight will be his 20th game missed. The Spitfires are getting healthy, trying to position themselves. Again, the most important thing for Windsor, you're fifth in the conference. You don't even have home ice yet, and you have a winning percentage hovering around 700, if you can believe that.
Yeah, very interesting dynamic in the OHL for sure. I know probably frustrating to a degree, but certainly seeing great hockey night in and out from both your team and the opposition. Well, best of luck with everything, Mike. I know you have some great games to see down the stretch. Thanks for this.
Patrick, as always, a pleasure to join you, and good luck the rest of the way.
That's Mike Miller. He is the voice of the Windsor Spitfires joining us at the intermission. You're listening to McDonald Auto Group Scream Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.